Hi Empire Builders, Phil Pitcher here from the Empire Building Network. Well, we now have YouTube connected up to Empire Avenue, and so to help kick off another service that's now part of our favorite addiction and social network, I thought I would do a YouTube-only video, you won't find it on the blog, and talk about 5 tips to get you started using YouTube. So let's get right to it. Tip number 1 is get started. Okay, so regardless of any of the other tips that sort of talk about preparation and extra things that you can do, just get going with it. Don't let it intimidate you. Just say, I am going to get something posted. And I think that's the key. You got lots of time to get better, and I think people will come back and revisit your content if you look at your early ones and think, oh boy, I'm doing that so much better today. So just get started. Tip number 2 is have something to say. So you really want to think about when you do these videos, not just an individual video, but if you're going to do a series of videos over time, what is it that you want to say? And that can be, say, in front of the camera, like the way that I'm doing, and I certainly give thought to, what is it I want to talk about, and I want to talk about Empire Avenue tips, and so that becomes sort of what my message is. But even if you're behind the camera, acting in that sort of directorial role, directors think about what they want to say and message they want to convey, whether it's fictional or nonfiction. They have a story to tell, so make sure you have a story to tell, and it will make your content that much more of interest to people. Point number 3 is prepare your production. Okay, so on the one hand, just get started, but there are a number of things that you can do to make the technical quality of your videos better. And the first thing that I recommend taking a look at is make sure you have good sound. When you record a video and you upload it to YouTube and you listen back to it, are you happy with the sound? Funny thing is people will put up with poor video quality even more so than they will if you're doing spoken content with audio quality. So make sure that you've got good sound. Your iPhone microphone just does not cut it. You want to take it a better step up. But you also want to think about things like lighting. I've got a window that's behind where I have my webcam. You can see it there. In the daytime, I really have to think about how I have things lit so that I'm not in silhouette. You want to think about how you are framed in the shot. You don't want to be, sort of down here talking like this, and you see this, and you see other people that are looking up. Ideally, you want to have the camera right at eye level, and I actually raise my chair up so that I'm at eye level when I talk. You want to do an equipment check. My microphone has a tendency to switch to the webcam microphone, which is not nearly as good, and I have to sort of check it every time to make sure it's set to the good mic that I have. You also want to make sure the video is working correctly, that sort of thing. So, I do a little test video, and I just say, okay, do I have things set up right? And even though I now have a pretty standard setup about the way I do things, I go through that little routine every time. So after you've sort of prepared your production, you want to organize your thoughts. I said you want to have something to say, but once you have your theme of what you want to say, you also have to think about how are you going to present that in sort of what logical breakdown. Some people are most comfortable actually doing a word-for-word script. I do, and I'm looking at right now here on my screen, I've got my 5 bullet points. And I think that one of the reasons that I tend to do these numbered tips is that gives me sort of bite-sized things that I can talk about, get my head around, and I actually have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 written out. And that helps me with structure. Another way that you can sort of organize your thoughts is by saying you're going to keep the topic of your video so short that it's sort of something you can keep in your head before you talk about it. But organizing your thoughts is very important in writing or in video. The last thing I would give you as a tip is, if you can, add in some extras, okay? And that's to do a little bit of post-production. And I don't mean to make this anything onerous. YouTube will allow you to pick a thumbnail from amongst several that will sort of be the image that shows up whenever somebody embeds the video, or if you embed the video. And there's even some things that you can do in terms of adding in music from YouTube. I choose to use Windows Movie Maker, which is free, and I'm using the Windows Live Movie Maker beta. And it's what's providing the titles that you see. I type that information in. But I would say one of the things that can really make your videos stand apart from others is to add a little bit of music at the front end and the back end. It's really easy. And as well, you might consider adding in a still shot. And you see that in the beginning of this video, you would have seen the EBN word mark, if you will, and I started doing that, partway through these Empire Avenue videos. Just again, creating that look and feel so that you know that when you see the video, hey, that's one of Bill's videos. And again, just get started. You don't necessarily have to do that from day one, but if you can add in a couple of little extra touches, it really helps elevate your videos from everybody else's. And I think that what you'll find is, if you give it thought, and that's basically what these tips today were: get started and give it thought, that your videos will get better over time, and more and more you'll find yourself thinking about how do you make compelling content and the like. I haven't covered off the specifics of how to upload your video and record your video, that sort of thing. There's lots of guides to help you with that if you need, but I've gone through a bunch now in terms of doing it myself. If I can be of any assistance, if you're just getting into this, don't hesitate to contact me through any of the social media channels that are available to us as Empire Avenue members. So that's it, and welcome to YouTube. I'm delighted to see it added to the service. We just have to figure out how to manage having all this different content opportunities, and it's going to reach a point where it's impossible to do something significant in every area, and I think you'll see increasing specialization come out of it because of that. But that's exciting. I look forward to see where it goes. So thank you very much, and happy empire building.